Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 42. 42. I'm pretty sure it's 42. I'm gonna go with 42. Well, we are currently ready to level up, so let's do so. So we've got a ability to level up all of our characters. So one minute. There we go. All right, let's level up the bounty hunter first. Me. So what we got? We've got share the spoils. Whenever an ally kills prey, the bounty hunter gains half the bonuses. Okay. Whenever prey is killed, all the enemies in a 10-cell radius around the prey have their agility reduced. Ooh. Whenever the bounty hunter scores a crit, they gain armor penetration. Whenever the bounty hunter scores a crit, the armor's target's reduced. The target's armor is reduced. Okay. If an enemy is killed by crit, you gain damage. Ooh. Withdraw. Whenever the bounty hunter is attacked in melee range for the first time since the end of the turn, they automatically dodge and attack, move one cell in the opposite direction from the enemy. Ooh. I don't really seem to have problems with people getting too close to me, so I think I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for Hunting Surge. I like that. Abelard is wounded, but we're going back to the ship anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got... another talent opportunity for you. When a Vanguard hits an enemy with attack of opportunity, the enemy will make a willpower resistance test. On the failed test, the Vanguard becomes the enemy's priority target. Oh, that is good. The Vanguard gains toughness or a parry bonus against enemies that consider Vanguard a priority. Okay, formidable distraction. All enemies in a 2-cell radius around the Vanguard suffer a penalty to dodge against all attacks kept the Vanguards. If any of these enemies consider the Vanguard's approach target, the enemies suffer additional dodge penalty instead. Critical hit, steal. Sorry about that. Just literally woke up, so I'm very tired. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm gonna go for Resilient Beacon just to take less damage because I feel like it's very important. So this is the tactical one. So point of interest, all combat zone bonuses are increased. If the area was not moved for 2 rounds, division zone, use a stratagem on the rear that also makes allies in that area the enemy's lowest priority. Crossfire zone, I don't really care about the frontline zone. Yeah, I'm gonna do point of interest. I think that's gonna be the most useful one, so we'll go with that for now. What do we got here? So this is the Arca Militant. So we've got Exploit Weakness. When the Arca Militant attacks target, the armor reduced by any effects applied by the Arca Militant's allies. They deal extra damage. Deflection reduced, the Arca Militant does until damage. Okay, always ready. The Arca Militant begins combat with 2 stacks of versatility. Versatility, there are things, aren't they? When entering combat, the Arca Militant gains 2 times ballistic skill, weapon skill, and then 2 times the weapon skill, ballistic skill. That's not bad at all. Political versatility. I'm gonna go with critical versatility. I think. No, sorry, no. Broad expertise. I like that one. It gives her me a reason to level up both her stats. And it makes it make sense. Hidden advantage. All the master tactician's ability work as if the master tactician has 5 more stacks of advantage. For every enemy hit by the master tactician's attack, she doesn't really attack, so that's not really useful. Whenever the master tactician on the enemies or the allies gain momentum, they gain 1 + 1 more. Whenever the master tactician or all enemies lose momentum, they lose 1 less. That's really useful, I think. Against all odds, the master tactician begins combat with additional stacks or brink of death. I'm gonna go with Nerves of Steel because again, she doesn't really attack, so that's kind of useless to me right now. What does fucking openings do? I feel like... Oh, do they deal extra damage on open? Okay, that's really good then. Wait. Oh, use of an assassin ability. Sorry, I misread that. I'm gonna do Bringer of Doom. I like that. I think that looks good. Right, so we need to get to the ship at this
I
point.
forge my destiny among the stars.
So let's figure out the exit is down this way. I need to quickly blow my nose to give me... and I don't have anything to blow my nose with. I will be back. Give me 2 minutes. Alright, sorry about that, guys. To our ship, then. We're finally done on footfall for now. The anvers have been destroyed, and that is Opticon. We don't need to talk to him right now.
Your duty.
A familiar figure turns to you, Henrix van Kalox, interrogator of the Ordo Xenos. Bows his head respectfully. Lord Captain? Honored interrogator, what a surprise. Did you perchance leave something in your cabin? Not at all, First Officer Versian. I'm not in the habit of leaving a trail, but I thank you for your concern. Greetings, interrogator. To what do I owe the pleasure of this latest visit? Only to our mutual duty to humanity. It is to that duty that demands that I disturb your peace once more. I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that had transpired on Rykar Minoris. I also received some information from my agents regarding the movements and the actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we are assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to their findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds. This time, yours, Lord Captain. Henry clears his throat and begins in a pointedly official tone. By the order of the Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calaxar, whose duty is to stand sentinel over the Koronus Expanse, the rogue trader of House von Volantis is to take up on board the agent of the Most Holy Inquisition and provide escort and support in deeds, great and small, that serve to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies. This decree is effective immediately upon announcement and remains in effect until decided otherwise by His Excellency Calaxar. Adira whispers and barely audible. All I got from that is that ridding ourselves of this snitch won't be easy. What exactly caused this need to rejoin my crew? The cause is the activity of humanity's enemies, including the cult of the Final Dawn. In my absence, the situation in the Koronus Expanse has changed. I have received an exhaustive report from my agents. This heresy has taken root in the region where the Von Volantis worlds lie. You probably know about the fate of the industrial world of Kiva Gamma. If not, then I will share what details I know, but not here. Better to talk on board. We will not be overheard. I, rogue trader Malachi von Volantius, welcome the agent of the Golden Throne aboard my ship and take on the responsibility of assisting him in the fight against the evil that threatens humanity. Henrich gives a reserved nod, an answer befitting a righteous servant of the Emperor. If duty has brought you to board the rogue trader's ship once more, then if such is the Emperor's will. Welcome back, interrogator. Thank you, sister. It's an honor to be traveling one of the blessed Adeptus Sororitas. Master von Kalox. Cassia's voice is brimming with genuine joy, which she immediately hides behind a facade of highborn primness. Since you are with us once more, I do hope you find time to finish our conversation about the literary works of Conhala the Blessed. I will make every effort, Lady Orselio. I must also deliver this to you. Henrix pulls out a sealed letter. The Lord Inquisitor specified that the contents of this envelope are for your eyes only. I would ask you to read it as soon as you have time. This is everything for the time being. Are you headed to the ship, or do you still have business on footfall? Whatever the case, I can either wait for you on board or accompany you as part of your retinue. We're fine without you right now, my friend.
Over us.
Oh god, my yawning's gonna get in the way, I can tell. Here we go. Let's read this. May the Emperor's faithful forever remain in the light of his favor. Let me first express my condolences on the tragic death of the most honorable Theodora von Valantius. Nevertheless, I was elated to learn that the warrant of the rogue trader has been passed to a worthy and promising heir. These words are not hollow compliments, but rather the Inquisition's official opinion in your person. As fate would have it, you have taken the reins of the von Valantius dynasty in an hour most dire, when grim portents of dark events to come to a surfacing throughout the Koronus Expanse. I have been duty-bound to become the first sentinel who sees the approaching threat, and I hereby alert you that it is indeed coming. Our loyalty and resolve will be tested. People such as you and I will become the pillars that will unite the Emperor's frightened children and inspire them to fight back. And so I greet you as my dependable ally and assure you of my favor. From now on, you have a trusted friend within the holy orders of the Emperor's Inquisition and a respective confidant on who you can rely. Should the dark times ahead require you to make questionable choices, have no doubt that such an incident will be examined in an exceedingly temperate fashion that rules out the most radical forms of judgment. I have faith in the success of our partnership and thank you for your contribution, both past and future. Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar. Well, looks like we've got a lot of conversing to going aboard. We've got, I think everyone wants to talk to us at this point. Looks like my voice is going to be worn out by from overuse. Lord Captain, the inspection of the ship's systems is complete. The tech priests are reporting that the machine spirits are calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel, except there is an issue you must be made aware of. Cassia makes a quick, nervous gesture, adjusting the dormant over her third eye. I have been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I wanted to double-check the route to Dagonus and discovered that it does not match the one recorded in the Atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for traveling. To make matters worse, I started checking the paths for the Atlas, one after the other, and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm, bursting with vivid and screaming colors. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Argenta angrily chops the air with a side of her palm. Warp storm are our enemies, just like the heretics and daemons. It is a shame they can't be dispersed with a flame or a bolter. Now we can be certain that the problems with the astropathic communication of the Koronus Expanse are no coincidence. There is a warp disturbance in your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate key worlds to the Von Valantius Protectorate as soon as possible. I'm talking about Janus, Dagonus, and Kiva Gamma. Charting new routes so they can be reached and restoring control will be the necessary next step. What would the consequences of losing contact with these worlds be? A world deprived of its connection to a neighboring system and the Koronus Expanse infrastructure can only rely on itself, and the capabilities are often limited. For example, Janus does not have a fleet of its own. Pirates, cultists, heretics, and Xenos, anyone could prey on the helpless planet. The loss of communication is a threat to your position. A rogue trader with no protectorate to back them is one that grows weaker by the day. The Vox Master is entirely correct. Your rogue trader, Malachi von Valantius, is the successor to Theodora von Valantius, one of the most influential women this side of the Moor, but you are also new to the business of governing. Many will doubt your competence and try to carve up your protectorate so they can snatch a piece for themselves. It is important to show your potential allies and foes that you are in control of the situation, which is why the sooner we reclaim these lost worlds, the better. Tell me about Janus. The surface of Janus was altered extensively so the planet could be designated an agri-world. It is a powerful food base capable of supplying the burgeoning protectorate and exporting provisions to the outer world at the same time. Janus owes much of its prosperity to the governor House of Viat. Under its leadership, the world has grown ever more prosperous year after year, securing shipments and taxes while keeping the workforce tightly controlled. What is Kiva Gamma? Industrial world Kiva Gamma is being managed by the governor House of Gaprak. and supplies your protectorate with rare mineral resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus Manufactorum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. I testify that Kiva Gamma is a world marked by the Omnicide's patronage. By his grace, the manufactorums of the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Henrix coughs quietly. Mistress Ptolemy neglected to mention that the Kiva Gamma Manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery from forge harvesters to vessel systems and components. Abelard turns his hard eyes on Henrix. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capabilities, Van Calox. Needs to be of service. What do I need to know about Dagonus? Dagonus is the heart and soul of your protectorate. It is where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Volantis Palace. If you would like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. Dagonus is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. Abelard, what is your opinion? Which should we deal with first? Abelard strokes his beard for a few seconds before giving a hesitant reply. Rediscovering the agri-world will supply your protectorate with something none of your servants can do without: sustenance. The importance of basic supplies should not be underestimated. Just look at football in its current pitiful state. On the other hand, I am concerned by the rumors concerning Kiva Gamma. There have been no problems on Janus for many years, but something is very wrong with the industrial world right now. Delay may cost us the entire planet. I trust I do not have to explain the capital world. Losing it would make us the laughingstock of the other dynasties. Besides, the loss of the chronicles and ledgers would spell a bureaucratic catastrophe. Though all three systems are equally vital to the Protectorate, it falls due to decide which should be brought into the fold before the rest, Lord Captain. Very well. Our course is clear. Do my officers have any other issues that require immediate attention? That is all, Lord Captain. The vessel and the crew await your instruction and are ready to depart footfall immediately, should you desire. So desire. I have no fucking clue where we need to go first. But I do know we need to talk to some people, so let's walk around. So Argenta should be down. So Argenta and Cassie are here. So let's talk to Cass.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations. I haven't...
Well, she doesn't want to talk to anything, so it must be Argenta then.
Greetings.
Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy, with her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheek. She is reciting a prayer and looks to you only once she has spoken the final line. I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and explain the strange words of that cultist on footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Of course. Let us go there right away. She nods gratefully. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the signs of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature of the warrant. A seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest me in a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me, with flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me, with wrath and fury and of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous and it is made for singing hymns and prayers, but right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion she is. For I breathed by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to the servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closed her eyes and remained silent for a long time with her head raised still high. Slowly, like the first clicks of flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue Trader, we need to talk. Or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth about how I ended up with on... Yeah. Alright, I'm going to restart saying that because my ability to speak just seems to be absolutely buggered today. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valantia's ship and about the occultists we encountered on Footfall. I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. Tell you my story and you'll see why. Argenta pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieromonus' mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. Became an agent of divine will in a way. I gentle faltered, searching for the words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently rediscovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, a planet was of little interest, a feral world away from the convenient warp routes, but for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I've never heard of such a planet. Does it belong to the Von Valentius dynasty? Yes. Now the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? Please continue. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint, is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago, and Heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly, I, myself, named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment that it was important, that I must journey to this planet and find the ship. And so I asked Reverend Hieromonus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. Why did you keep this your supposition from Reverend Hieromonus? Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and Saint's remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was important and revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieromonus the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains and the relic, it would have been a sign that I had truly been blessed with the saint's favor. Trying to see what will make sense here. You know, that's understandable. Searching for your destiny, for your place in the world, is a special matter, a personal one. You either succeed at it or you don't. Argenta looks at you somewhat surprised. I thought that I had been called. That finding the ship was my destiny, my place in the world. Perhaps there's something to that. I imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistant. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. You mentioned something called One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order Prodigious, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost holy relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography, I don't know how to say that word, at times call it a banner or a set of armor or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, that it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost upon Argenta's death. What happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, only a pilgrim guided by a pure can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales, and I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that was where we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on footfall, something about ways, doors, please, addressed to someone, Lord, and the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaken with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salus Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salus Prime. The cultists attacking the ship and Kunrad's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if they have long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valancius servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? No need to blame yourself. If the heretics had really wormed their way into the Von Valancius ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Kunrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my efforts to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that Vulture must have figured out that it was something important and something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. And what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? Well, sadly, he's the only one who might have the answers has escaped. Oh yes, and I sincerely hope that we meet him again. The serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. So how did you manage to escape from the cultists? Agenta hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remembered what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it was all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. Agenta looked you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the archenemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of the cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped me eradicate the cultist on footfall. Agenta smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk about the orphans at my request. A leader who's willing to honor those who laid down their lives for them and take care of the children is a leader who inspires trust, and the way you acted in that moment. You remember, there was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence? You didn't turn a blind eye to his misdeed, but you chose the right words to show him the path to redemption. It was harsh, but necessary. Like the Emperor's truth, like bitter medicine that helps the sick. I learned much about you in that moment, Rogue Trader, and I want to believe I wasn't mistaken in my judgment. So, just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never found Saint Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes, I rushed to Theodora at the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Stella's Prime to defend the relic from the heretics. But I was told the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. As if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died at the attack of the ship, along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. I don't care that what that retrobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? If the accursed Final Dawn is involved again, it is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes throughout the entire Koronus Expanse. Argenta walks up and places a hand on his shoulders. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned to the heretics punished, and may the light be with us both on this path. Well, I agree, Argenta. Let's fuck them up. We need to see. I need to figure out who else. We need to talk to Jay, I believe, as well. She's new, so that's. Does Henrix want to talk?
To what do I owe this visit?
You wanted to discuss the nature of your mission?
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Oh, why do I have to read? Fuck you bastards. Henrix nods slightly. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. I welcome the chance to assist the Inquisition with its inquiries, Van Carlox. Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. Interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. To business then. The cult of the final dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Koronus Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. The Lord Inquisition mentioned in his letter that he's willing to show lenience toward my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as... Actually, no, let's do this one, because it means I've done something. Why would Ordo Xenos agents investigate a cultist? You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Malachi. Yes, initially our arrival on the Koronus Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos. There is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps we'll be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience. So the Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter that he is willing to show lenience toward my actions that would be otherwise interpreted as radical. Henrix nods. That is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised. The Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of the soul and mind, even as someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. A Chaos cultist in my protectorate, Henrik, so you were laying an accusation against my dynasty. Chaos treads softly, Malachi. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the rogue traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head himself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Volantis was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant. Henrik regards you with a probing look. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interest to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself, and then, perhaps, you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. Do you have spies on the von Volantis worlds? The person I mentioned is not a spy, but a secretary in the administratum department on Dargonus. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Koronus Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Scalander. As soon as we contact Jorgunus, I will introduce you as a new head of the dynasty. I'm sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words at least occasionally. I want to know more about the cult of the Final Dawn. Chaos worshippers, most often agents of the throne run into lone renegades, stirring up the rabble, insane prophets, and hysterical visionaries preaching the end of days, a passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come with a new reason why the people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort in the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne was spent before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Koronus Expanse, my words are not working today, I'm so sorry. Disseminating heresy among honest people in the Imperial world. There is a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. And finally, they have enough military power to have had the two ships we sent after them later discovered as wreckages. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in and day out. Henrik sighs. After the events on Rykard Minoris, I suspect the cult might have built its nest inside the Winterscale domain, but the latest report indicated it is your protector that is harboring heretics. Bringing in your entourage improves my chance. Being in your entourage improves my chance of getting closer to their secrets. I've already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else? The rogue trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiva Gamma. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnicide themselves. I will be frank. The answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having the plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems in the Koronus Expanse is already lost. May the Imp protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. Why did your suspicion fall on Kiva Gamma? Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from the world arrived on footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. We met a Chaos Space Marine on Rykard Minoris. Do we risk running into his brothers? I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later, Malachi. Chaos Marines siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Koronus Expanse, and not an entire company. I won't let anyone throw their weight around on my world, be they servants of Chaos, Xenos, or heretics. Commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of Imperial worlds in his hands. Which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planet, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots. And that is enough discussion about the enemy servant. Remember the Drukhari who stole Rykard's son. Henrik Winters, Drukhari, one of the branches of the Eldari, an ancient and vicious Xenos race. Those creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids, for the simple reason that the victims are not killed outright, but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need to air to survive, the Drukhari requires psychic energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with an uncanny expertise. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Their stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of the standard Imperium auger arrays. The objective of their raids is never to capture a world or a ship. No, they are only interested in the fresh victims. After filling their holds of living captives, they disappear into the webway, a different dimension which conceals their greatest stronghold, Kumarag, the dark city of Drukhari, from which none can hope to escape. Henrik studies your expression. I do not know why the Drukhari stole Rykard's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the arch-enemy's designs. Or perhaps Aurora's divinations, in fact, described the Drukhari's actions. There is only one thing I can say with absolute certainty. There is no alliance between the Cult of the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It is simply impossible. Well, I must go about my business. Is there anything else I need to know? Let me put it this way. You may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I'm here to help you in the fight against your foes you may not even be aware of. You have my word that I will provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the Von Valanche's world while the Master was away, and that I will try to be more patient with the less grievous flaws the bearers of the warrant are sometimes known to have. Henrik inclines his head. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. Put some shit away, because, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm also meant to have... where do I get my, where do I get the DLC stuff? One minute, let me just tab out a second. Because there was some free LC released. Where is it? I want to see the free LC. Oh, where the fuck is it? I know I got it. Yeah, limited gift. How do I get it? Well, that doesn't help. Okay, apparently it's in one of our chests after the, 1 minute. There it is. There we go. Give me that. Don't even know what it does, I just like free stuff. Oh yes, we do have 2 people to level up. We'll do that in a minute before we end the part. The Von Valance's cloak. Ooh, I like that. That's way better than this one. And it just looks fucking gorgeous as well. Can I actually see the helmet? There is... Where is it? Yeah. That is pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I'm gonna wear the Von Valance's cloak for a little bit. Right, let's let's level up our companions. Oh shit, I actually have to pick you. What equipment does she currently have? Okay, so she uses Xeno's weapons, specifically. They look both... yeah, they're both Eldari weapons, and she has an Eldari chainsword. Didn't even know the Eldari had chainsaws, but that's pretty cool. So I think she suits an Arc Militant really well. She currently has Armored Body Glove. Let's make sure we upgrade her to the better version of that. Also, just add those to cargo. seems to be heavily into light armor, so we'll leave her on. I think that those will do for her. Is her awareness important? No, her awareness is not important to her. I don't think those boots make sense for her right now. I need to make sure we turn the helmet off. I'm gonna give her my helmet, and we give her my.
Never in 1,000 sectors.
Oh no, that's actually quite useful. And then we'll keep her with the cloak she's got. She doesn't have boots. We'll give her some boots to give her some extra dodge. I mean, why not? Give her some extra weapon skill, because she does need weapon skill. What's this one? Oh, with a pistol. That's really useful. Yeah, she uses pistol, so I think that's good. I mean, we'll give her that, because she does have crack grenades. Let's also give her, like, let's also give her a stun grenade. Why not? And Von Carlox, we already know what he's doing, but let's also just make sure that he doesn't have helmet, because helmets are fucking useless. Or they're not useless, they just look shit, and I hate helmets. The wearer and their allies immune to... Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. No, I'll let her keep the dodge. Oh, we'll give him the fireproof cape instead for now. Alright, I've got a power sword, and I need to rub it in. What boots have you got? Oh, that's actually... We'll keep you the boots you've got, actually. That's decent. I'll grant him some armor for now. I don't really think they make sense either. Take that for now. We'll take that just because why not? It's worth having some stuff. Your weapons are more than fine. That's very... You know, in the next part, we will do the rest. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy, please do follow me on YouTube. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a share. Most importantly, guys, stay safe. Have a great day. Join the channel memberships if you're interested, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you guys then.